The loudest heartbreak is often silent. She didn't slam a door. She didn't block your number. She didn't scream or accuse. She just went quiet. And that silence hits harder than any insult ever could. It's not the kind of silence that feels peaceful. It's the kind that haunts. Makes you wonder. Makes you spiral. You start thinking, if she loved me, why did she go cold? Hey folks, imagine this. You're standing in a room filled with music, laughter, warmth. She's beside you, smiling, laughing at your jokes like you're the only man in the world. And then suddenly, the music cuts. The lights go off. She vanishes. No warning, just emptiness. And all you've got now is the echo of what once was. You scroll through your old messages, reread that moment she said, "I feel safe with you." And now you're not even sure if that was real. You're thinking maybe she was faking it. Maybe she met someone else. But let me tell you something, just because she's silent doesn't mean she stopped feeling. In fact, some women ignore you not because they don't love you, but because they do. And that love feels too big, too raw, too terrifying to keep giving if it isn't protected. People lie. Movies lie. Your mind lies. But energy, it doesn't. And if you don't learn how to read it, you'll always chase the noise and miss the truth. So stay with me, my friends. We're about to uncover the truth behind that silence. Comment below, "I stay grounded," because that's your new identity now. Number 1, she's not gone cold, she's just overwhelmed by the depth she feels. Sometimes silence isn't absence, it's the sound of someone drowning in feelings they don't know how to survive. My friends, let's cut through the noise, because this is where most of you get it wrong. You think she stopped caring because she stopped calling. You think she's gone cold because she's not texting good morning anymore. You start telling yourself stories. She's bored, she's moved on, maybe I never mattered at all. But what if I told you that some of the deepest love doesn't come with more words, it comes with fewer? That sometimes when a woman goes quiet, it's not because she doesn't feel, it's because she feels too much. Picture this. You've been out in the sun too long. It felt good at first, warm, bright, alive. But then suddenly, it's too much. The heat's burning your skin. You run for shade, not because you hate the sun, but because you need to breathe again. That's what it's like for her when love gets intense. She steps back, not because she doesn't care, but because she's checking, is it safe here? Can I give more without losing myself? And I know what you're thinking. If she really loved me, wouldn't she just say that? No, folks. Most women don't process love through logic. They process through energy, through nervous system cues, through emotional safety. And when they feel your energy shift, when they sense that you're starting to need them to feel okay, their instincts don't say, lean in. Their instincts say, retreat. Not because they want to play games, but because their spirit is looking for one thing, a grounded man who doesn't shake just because she stepped away. Let me break a lie real quick. You've been told love should always feel good, always feel close, always feel constant. But real love, the kind that shifts your soul, it isn't soft all the time. It tests you. It stretches your patience. It triggers your insecurities. Because love is not just a feeling, it's a mirror. And when she retreats, it's not to punish you. It's to ask, can you handle me at my most uncertain? And here's where it gets hard. Most men fail this test. They start calling more, posting stories to get her attention, talking to friends trying to figure her out. But the truth is, every time you do that, you're confirming her deepest fear, that you're not stable enough to hold her emotions without collapsing into yours. And that's when the silence turns into distance. But this is not the time to chase. This is your call to rise. Instead of texting, build. Instead of reacting, breathe. Instead of proving, become. Because the man she will remember forever is not the one who begged. It's the one who stood still, powerful, unshaken, who let her feel what it's like to walk away from real presence. That's not indifference. That's unbothered strength. And that is rare. So I'm asking you, will you fold when she withdraws? Or will you finally become the version of yourself that doesn't need her love to love himself first? Write this in the comments to claim it. I stay unshaken. Show them, show yourself, show the world around you. And stay with me, because what's coming next will reveal exactly what her silence is truly trying to tell you. Number 2, she's testing your energy, not ignoring you. When a woman stops speaking, it's not always because she's done. Sometimes it's because she's listening, closer than ever. Let's get something straight, my friends. Silence is not always rejection. Sometimes it's a scan, an emotional X-ray, a sacred pause where she steps back, not to leave you behind, but to see what your soul really holds when her voice disappears from your world. And if you don't understand this, you'll fail the test without even knowing you were in one. You see, we're taught that love should be loud, that if someone cares, they'll show it daily, text you back instantly, reassure you constantly. But that's a lie. That's a comfort fantasy made for weak hearts. Because in real relationships, especially with a deep-feeling woman, there comes a moment where words stop and energy takes the lead. That's where you are now. She's not watching your texts. She's watching your stillness. She's not checking your posts. She's checking your emotional frequency. She's not asking you to chase. She's watching to see if you will remain. Not attached, not panicked, just rooted. Imagine you're a mountain. She used to feel safe in your shadow. But lately, the ground has started to shift. You've started leaning in too much, texting too often, needing too deeply, and her instincts, like birds before an earthquake, started flying away, not because they hate the mountain, but because they felt its foundation tremble. Let me ask you something real. Can you feel when you start chasing emotionally, even when your feet haven't moved? That urge to check your phone, reread messages, wonder if she saw your story. That's not strategy. That's self-abandonment. And she feels it, even from miles away, because energy doesn't lie. She's not ignoring you. She's measuring your gravity. The moment she sensed your energy shift from grounded masculinity to emotional dependency, her soul pulled back, not out of cruelty, but out of survival. A woman doesn't want to be your peacekeeper. She wants to feel your peace. She doesn't want to constantly lift you. She wants to lean into something solid, something still, something you don't have to announce, but she can feel the moment she enters your space. Most men fail this test right here. They assume her silence is an accusation, not a question, and they panic. They post thirst traps. They send just checking in texts. They break their masculine frame and try to win back what was never lost, only observed. But not you, not this time, because now you see what this is, a sacred moment, a pause with purpose, a divine invitation for you to return to yourself. You don't win her back with noise. You win her back with vibration, with presence, with energy that says, even if you pull away, I don't chase, I build. And that, my friends, is what she's waiting to feel. The version of you who doesn't collapse when she goes quiet, who doesn't shift his entire mood based on her response, who doesn't reach out just to get a feeling back, but stays still long enough to become a feeling she misses. Remember this quote: "The man who holds his ground when the world withdraws becomes the one thing the world can't stop circling back to." So right now, in this silence, in this space, it's not about her, it's about you. Do you keep spiraling, or do you anchor? Do you act from panic, or do you train from peace? Start waking up earlier, lift heavier, build longer, laugh louder, lead deeper, and not for her, for the man she thought you were when she first leaned in. Let her feel your presence in your absence, because the truth is, she doesn't want your explanation, she wants your elevation. And when she finally looks back, and she will, she won't remember the man who begged, she'll remember the man who didn't break. So comment it, claim it. I hold my ground. Let it echo through you. Let her feel it without a single text. Stay with me, because the next part will show you exactly why most men lose her after this point, and why you won't. Number 3. She retreats when she feels your energy revolving around her. When a man loses himself in a woman, she eventually loses respect for the man. Let's tell the truth, my friends. It starts subtle. You meet her, you like her, she responds with warmth. And suddenly, your days start circling around her. You wait on her replies. You check her online status. You start measuring your worth by her attention. And before you even notice it, your life, your mission, your rhythm, it all begins spinning around her like she's the sun. But here's the hard part, no one tells you. The moment she feels you've abandoned your center, she starts pulling back. Not because she stopped caring, but because she started feeling the weight of carrying your sense of self. See, the feminine doesn't want to be your gravity. She wants to feel your gravity. She didn't fall for a man who worships her every move. She fell for the man who had direction before she arrived. The one who didn't pause his life waiting for love. The one who walked with purpose and allowed her to join, not control. Imagine a strong river, flowing, forceful, unbothered. It has its own current, and she's swimming in it, smiling, feeling carried by something bigger. But what happens when that river starts swirling around her like a whirlpool? The flow collapses. It chokes itself trying to please her position. The water grows still. And suddenly, it's no longer something she trusts. It becomes something she tries to escape. That's what happens when your energy starts orbiting her instead of your own path. She feels it, the shift, the pressure, the need. It's no longer a relationship, it's responsibility, emotional weight, silent obligation to keep you feeling whole. And she didn't sign up for that. That's when she goes quiet. That's when she pulls back, not because she's cruel, but because her instincts are screaming, he's losing himself, and now I don't feel safe anymore. Let me break a lie we were sold growing up. If you love her hard enough, she'll stay. No, my friends, if you love yourself strong enough, she'll stay, because no woman wants to become your reason for being. She wants to walk beside a man who already has one. So if you've started checking your phone more than your goals, if you've stopped going to the gym but never miss her story, if your peace disappears the second her texts do, it's time to admit it. You're orbiting her. But here's the good news. You can pull your power back. Right now, as you're reading this, your masculine energy is waiting to be reclaimed. Your mission is still there. Your path is still wide open. You just forgot it existed the moment her attention became more important than your momentum. So, what do? You stop asking why she's pulling away, and you start walking forward again. You put the phone down. You pick the weights back up. You silence the anxiety, and you listen to your focus. Because when she senses you returning to yourself, not faking detachment, but truly rising again, something shifts in her too. Her silence softens. Her trust rebuilds. Her desire reignites. Not because you convinced her, but because she felt your core solidify again. This isn't about punishing her. This is about proving to yourself that the man you were before she entered your life is still in there. still leading, still building, still powerful with or without her applause. You were never supposed to orbit her. You were supposed to invite her into your orbit. So now you've got two choices. You keep shrinking, hoping her warmth returns, or you expand so fully that her silence starts to feel like a mistake. Comment this right now and let it shape your posture today. I return to my path. Show her. Show yourself. Show the world around you. And stay with me, because the next truth we uncover might hurt, but it will set you free forever. Number 4. The more you chase, the more she hides. The moment you start proving your worth to her, you've already told her you don't believe in it yourself. Let's be real, my friends. This is where most men fall flat on their face. She pulls away, just a little. Maybe she's not as warm, not as fast to respond, not initiating like she used to. And instead of standing still, you panic. You send another message, then another. You try to say the right thing, do the right thing, make her feel what you're feeling. But the more you do, the more she disappears, and you don't even realize it yet. But every step you take toward her is another reason she hides deeper into that silence. You think you're saving the connection, but she feels the pressure. You think you're showing how much you care, but what she's sensing is that your peace is now tied to her response. You believe you're just being present, but in her nervous system, it feels like emotional noise. Too loud, too much, too soon. It's like trying to pet a wild animal. At first, it's curious. It watches you from a distance. But the moment you move too fast, it runs. Not because it hates you, but because your movement felt unstable. That's how it is with the feminine. She senses energy before logic. She retreats not from your love, but from the urgency behind it. And the more you try to explain, the more it convinces her that you've lost the stillness she once trusted. You've probably heard the lie before. If someone pulls away, it's your job to chase harder. Wrong. That's not love. That's a survival instinct. That's fear. That's you trying to earn something that was once flowing naturally. And chasing love always makes it hide. Because here's the truth, no one told you. She's not ignoring you. She's observing you. She's watching what you do when she's not around. She's listening to the silence between the texts. She's not counting your words. She's feeling your vibe. And when you chase her silence with more noise, you don't calm her. You scare her. Because now she's not dealing with a grounded man. She's dealing with someone who can't sit with uncertainty. And that's not attractive. That's unstable. The more you reach, the more she retreats. The more you over-explain, the more she checks out. The more you try to fix what hasn't even broken, the more she realizes you're not responding from strength. You're reacting from fear. So what's the move? Stillness. Not silence to punish her, not withdrawal to manipulate, but calm, steady, unshakable stillness that says, I am who I am, with or without your attention, because stillness is the language of true power. When you stand in it, you speak louder than any words ever could. That's when she starts to feel again. Not because you chased her, but because you finally became unreachable in the best way possible. This is the part that makes her double take. It's not your paragraph-long text. It's not your apology. It's not your just checking in voice note. It's your absence that doesn't beg. It's your presence that stays grounded even when she disappears. And you don't get that kind of power by performing. You get it by rebuilding your gravity, by pouring all that chasing energy back into your mission, by becoming so locked into your growth that her silence no longer confuses you. It inspires you to go even deeper. So the next time you want to chase, stop, breathe, train, building, reflect. Because the man she comes back to isn't the one who tried harder. It's the one who never tried to prove. He simply became undeniable. Comment it below. Make it your code. I do not chase. Let her feel it. Let the world feel it. Let you feel it. And stay with me, because what's coming next will show you exactly what she's feeling in that silence, even if she never says it out loud. Number 5. You're being watched, not forgotten. Her silence isn't her absence, it's her investigation. Here's where you get it wrong, my friends. You think because she stopped texting, she stopped caring. You think because she hasn't liked your post or replied to your story, she's erased you from her mind. You've convinced yourself that you're old news, forgotten, replaced, and yet something deep down doesn't believe it. That's not your ego talking, that's your intuition. And it's right, because the truth is, she hasn't forgotten you. She's watching you. Not your content, not your timeline, not the carefully crafted message you hope she'll see. She's watching your energy, your decisions, your behavior when no validation is present. That's when the real man shows up, or disappears. Let's make this clear. Women don't test you with questions. They test you with distance. They don't ask, "Are you strong enough to lead when I pull back?" They just go quiet, and then they observe closely. She's watching how you handle that space. She's tuned in, not to what you say, but to what you become when she steps out of the picture. It's like when you leave a room full of candles. You don't blow them out. You just step away to see which ones keep burning and which ones flicker out without your warmth. That's what you are to her right now. A flame on the other side of the silence. She's not wondering what you're feeling. She's watching if your fire survives without her fuel. And here's the part that most men never understand. This is not punishment. This is proof. Proof of your self-sufficiency. Proof of your emotional leadership. Proof that your masculinity wasn't performative. It was foundational. That you can still move forward when she pauses. That your purpose doesn't stop because her energy shifted. But you want to know what she really remembers. It's not the man who panicked when she went silent. It's not the man who texted, "Hey, just checking in," 3 times. It's not the man who posted pictures with other women to look unbothered. She forgets those men. They blend into one weak, reactive blur. But she never forgets the man who stood still, the one who didn't flinch, the one whose silence wasn't silence. It was signal. Because when she looked back, she didn't see desperation. She saw depth. She saw clarity. She saw strength that didn't move when the storm hit. And that, my friends, is the rarest thing in the world today. Not a man who begs to be seen, but a man whose stillness cannot be ignored. Most men are driven by the fear of being forgotten, and that fear makes them loud, makes them do too much, makes them become someone they never were, just to feel seen again. But the truth? If she has to see you everywhere to feel you, she never really felt you to begin with. Real presence lingers long after you've left the room. Ask yourself this: who are you when her attention vanishes? Do you crumble? Do you perform? Do you chase the illusion of control? Or do you remain calm, grounded, centered? Because that's the version of you she's hoping to witness. The man who doesn't let silence erase him. The man who doesn't let absence steal his posture. That's what women crave, but never say. Not performance, presence, not perfection, peace. The peace that doesn't change based on who's watching. The presence that holds even when no one's applauding. So if she's quiet, understand this. She's not done. She's just watching to see if you are. This is not the time to act out of fear. It's the time to prove your stillness, not to her, but to yourself. Build in that silence, grow in it, burn in it if you have to, but whatever you do, don't let the fear of being forgotten make you forget who you are. Say it now. Write it in the comments so your mind hears it, your body remembers it, and the world knows it. I stay remembered in silence. Let her feel it. Let her find it when she finally looks back. And stay with me, because what we uncover next will reveal the one thing that makes or breaks her trust in your energy forever. Number 6. She withdraws when she can't feel your leadership. A woman won't follow a man who doesn't know where he's going, no matter how much she once loved the journey. Let's speak the raw truth, my friends. This part right here, this is where most good men lose great women, not because they were unkind, not because they didn't love her, but because they stopped leading. And she started feeling the absence of direction. You thought love was enough. You thought your connection, your chemistry, your conversations were strong enough to hold her. And maybe they were, in the beginning. But what happens when that emotional fire settles? When the dopamine wears off? When life gets real and silence creeps in? She starts looking, not for the man she laughed with, but for the man who leads her forward. And if she doesn't feel that from you, she won't announce it. She won't fight. She'll fade. She doesn't want to be the emotional engine of the relationship. She doesn't want to be the planner, the fixer, the initiator, the one always checking in. She wants to trust that when she lets go, you're already 5 steps ahead. That you're holding a vision bigger than her affection. But if you've lost that spark, if you've started making her the goal instead of your mission, she feels it. She feels the energy shift from power to passivity, from motion to stagnation, from leadership to emotional codependence. And when that happens, she stops talking, not to punish you, but because she can't follow someone standing still. Imagine a ship. A powerful vessel that once sailed strong, cutting through every wave, but now it just floats, waiting for approval, for validation, for her hand to steer it. And she looks at it with love, but also with fear. Because now she's not a partner on a voyage. She's the only one rowing. And that's not the love she craved. That's weight, that's pressure, that's disappointment wrapped in silence. You see, a woman in her feminine doesn't want to lead the emotional direction. She wants to surrender into something trustworthy, something stable. She wants to rest, not carry you. But when your energy starts relying on hers, when she becomes your compass instead of your complement, she pulls away. Not because she wants someone else, but because she needs to breathe, to reset, to see if you'll rise again without her prompting it. This is where your leadership is tested, not when everything is going well, but when it's quiet, when she stops guiding the emotional flow, when she backs away just enough to see what you do without her push. Do you fold? Do you wait for her to come fix it? Do you chase her back into the relationship she no longer feels safe inside? Or do you rise? The kind of man she's craving doesn't beg for direction. He builds it. He doesn't sit in the silence, hoping she'll rescue the connection. He creates such a powerful forward motion in his own life that she either aligns with his path or watches him walk without her. And the truth is, she doesn't want to leave. She wants to trust. She wants to relax into your frame. But she can't relax when you're unsure. She can't soften when your whole energy is waiting on hers. She can't follow a man who abandoned his own movement just to stay close to her. So what now? You return to your leadership. You wake up earlier. You get back into your craft. You build your future like she's not your plan, but your witness. You stop waiting for her to speak, and you let your actions start shouting. Because the man who leads with clarity, with focus, with grounded direction, that man becomes unforgettable. That man becomes irreplaceable. That man becomes safe, not because he protects her emotions, but because he doesn't require her to stabilize his. Say it now, own it. Comment below, I lead myself first. Let that be your compass. Let that be your edge. Let her silence remind you of who you're supposed to be, not what you're supposed to chase. Number 7. She ignores you to see if you'll ignore yourself. The moment you abandon your mission to chase her emotions, she loses faith in both. Let's end this with the rawest truth, my friends. Her silence isn't always about you. It's about what you do with yourself when you no longer feel her approval. That's the real test. She's not ignoring you just to be cruel. She's watching. Will he stay loyal to his purpose, or will he trade it for my attention? You see, most men think the silence means fix it, that they've done something wrong, and now it's their job to chase, to convince, to repair. But what she's really testing, without saying a word, is whether or not you'll betray yourself to win her back. She wants to know if your strength was real, or if it was only there when she applauded it. Because here's the harsh truth. If she can watch you fall apart just because she didn't text back, she now knows you were never whole without her. And that's not love, that's weakness, that's emotional dependence dressed up as devotion. Imagine a man building a house, day by day, brick by brick. He's focused, grounded, clear, and then one morning, someone walks away. Suddenly, he drops the hammer. He forgets the blueprint. He stands in the dust, staring at a closed door, wondering if she'll ever return. The house doesn't build itself. The foundation gets cold, and the very structure that could have attracted her back starts to collapse. That's what happens when you ignore your path just to get a piece of hers back. But the rare man, the grounded man, he doesn't fold. He doesn't pause his purpose because her attention faded. He becomes sharper, deeper, more magnetic, not out of revenge, not to prove anything, but because he never forgot who he is without her. And that's when she feels it, not guilt, loss, because she didn't just walk away from a man, she walked away from a force, a presence, a purpose so rooted that her silence couldn't shake it. So now the question is, do you become the man who collapses in her absence, or the man who builds something so powerful in the silence she starts questioning everything? You don't prove your worth by chasing her. You prove it by refusing to chase the version of you that needs her. And if she returns, good. If she doesn't, you've already won. Because your value was never on trial, only your memory of it. So comment it one last time. Let it echo in the world and in your bones. I stay loyal to me. And if this message reminded you of who you are, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with this channel, because this isn't just advice. This is a movement. This is where men remember their power. And this is where the world starts seeing what a real man cannot be shaken by. Your silence is not weakness, it's your weapon. Wield it.